आज ही CAPF AC मेंटर्स को सब्सक्राइब करें और लेटेस्ट नोटिफिकेशंस एंड वीडियोस के लिए बेल आइकन दबाना ना भूलें।
Hello and a very good evening to all the CAPF AC aspirants out there. I hope you're all following the advisory issued by the government to fight off this evil called novel coronavirus. I hope you all will be very safe and sound in your homes, and you will be keeping yourselves in self-isolation. So I think let's start off. My name is Mohammed Shabbir, and I have secured All India Rank 310 in the CAPF Assistant Commandant examination carried out in the year 2018. Currently, I am working as an inspector in Central GST department, and I'm posted in Bengaluru now, currently. So, and I, on the behalf of the channel CAPF AC Mentors, I'm making this video for working professionals, for the aspirants who are working in their respective jobs and who are seeking a strategy to somehow ace this examination in the limited time that they have, obviously due to their other duties. So as you can see, the entire scheme of things for the working professionals is entirely different from the people who are there in Delhi, in Mukherjee Nagar, or say or in Rajinder Nagar, because they've got a lot of time and they will have a lot of resources, to make their to ease their way out of it. But then for the people like me who have been a working professional and who cannot afford to take a coaching, or who don't have that much of time to devote to it, so for them the entire scheme of things is a little different. First of all, they have shortage of time. Second thing, that they need to come up with better planning and strategy than the other people, because obviously they don't have that much of time to devote to it, so they cannot keep doing things which bear no fruit to them. Thirdly, they need to make judicious use of time and resources that they have, and the final thing that they need to do is follow discipline, because without discipline in these in the limited time, they just cannot follow and fulfill their aspirations. So the most important thing that is required to do all these 4-5 things that I just told you about is grit and determination. If you have got it, and then I think it will be the half of the battle will be won by you. So how to get this? How to get this grit and determination? For that, you need to ask yourself, why do you want to join CAPF? If you honestly ask this question to yourself, and if you get the feel from it, if you get a feel from within that, okay, I want to join the prestigious Central Armed Police Forces as an assistant commandant for these reasons, so I think you're on the right track. You have all the things that are required to make it and get to that post. So having said that, I'll jump on to the part where the preparation strategy starts. I think the other toppers have also made the videos on the book list, on the resources, about the previous year question papers, and all the things that you need to do while you're preparing for this examination. And as all of them might have said, that 6 months I think is enough time for a person to start from the very scratch and ace this examination. You just need to follow the strategy that you've chalked out, and you just need to keep working hard at it. There's no shortcut to success. You just need to work hard at it, and you just cannot give up on your dreams, no matter how hectic it becomes at your workstation, no matter how difficult are your times in the personal life. You just need to maintain a balance between the personal and professional life. That's what it takes, because ultimately that is what you'll be doing as an AC. You'll be manning a group of 135 soldiers who will be ready to risk their lives at your command. So you just need to manage men and material over there. That's it. So my talk will be focused on the preparation strategy for working professionals, for the aspirants. So I'm presuming that there's a working professional who works 5 days a week and who gets 2 days off, that is on Saturdays and Sundays. So every normal day, which is a working day for him, he'll be getting 4 hours a day maximum, at max, to study. 2 hours, let's say, in the morning, and 2 hours, let's say, in the evening. So that's what he can devote at max, 4 hours a day. And the last 2 days of the week, which are Saturday and Sunday, obviously he can devote not more than 8 hours. So it will be like 16 hours in the weekend and 10 hours in the weekdays. So, and if you, with all your grit and determination, if you're able to follow whatever strategy that you have chalked out based on the tips given by the other toppers, the courses that you have followed up, or the things that you have made up for yourself, if you're able to do this for 6 months, I think it should be sufficient for you to crack paper 1 at least. I will I'll emphasize paper 1 and paper 2 equally. I think both of them are important, because the paper 2 gets checked only when you qualify in paper 1, and suppose you have not been able to do very good in paper 1, then obviously you can balance it with paper 2. So paper 1 and paper 2 carry, I think, equal importance, and you need to start the preparation simultaneously for both the papers. You just can't skip for paper 2 for the last month and somehow get to know about the formats for the reports, or the essay writing, or you just or the précis writing, and all those things. You just cannot do that. You just cannot afford to skip paper 2 preparation for the last part of it, last phase of your preparation. It is not advisable from my side to do it. So the things which are a must are a revision, plus your current affairs and your aptitude. You just cannot give up on these things at any part of your preparation. You have to keep doing it from day 1 till the end of your preparation. So the thing is that, suppose you are a working professional and you have not been able to devote that much of a time which a normal candidate who's not working, who's been living in Mukherjee Nagar and has been taking coaching for this very examination, you will not be at par with the preparation that he has done. So what you need to do, you need to believe in yourself, and you need to appear in the examination with all your confidence that you have. You need to fight with yourself. You are the only competitor that you have to face. You just need to set a cutoff for yourself in paper 1 plus paper 2, so that you can actually place yourself, you can actually try to see yourself up there on that list. So that, okay, I need to attempt these many questions, I need to attempt these many questions correctly, so that I just get on the line somehow, if you are feeling on the edge all the time. So while attempting the paper 1, you need to identify the sections that you are confident in. Suppose you are very confident in geography, you are very confident in polity, you are very confident in say aptitude, or say economics, or the current affairs, whatever you might feel yourselves comfortable with. You need to attempt that first. Use your time judiciously and use it to the very best of it. Do not try to indulge yourself in attempting questions which may go wrong. So if I tell you my example, I attempted only, I think, 72, 74 questions, and that is not a very good attempt, but I was somehow able to make it to the list, to the other side of it. So whatever you do, you just need to believe in yourself that, okay, whatever I'm trying to do, it is correct. There will not be any wrong things in it. So that is how you attempt the paper 1. And paper 2, as I told you, is equally important. So you need to start the writing practice from day 1. From day 1 of your preparation till the very last date when you're going to start your revision. And one thing is one thing which I forgot to mention is the revision that you have to do. I think you need to finish your course in the period of 4-5 months, so that at least you get 1 month in the last to revise the things that you've learned, the preparation that you've made, and you need at least 1 month to brush up the entire things that you have started. So that is how it goes for the preparation of both the papers. after having qualified for the papers, because you are a working professional, and I presume that the habits that we have as working professionals are not as good, and we definitely, most of us are overweight, and they don't hit the gym regularly, or they don't play any sports. So for them, losing weight after qualifying the written examination is also a big thing. That's an entire fight. That's a different fight altogether. So you need to, for in most of the cases you are there, you need to at least lose 8 to 10 kilos a day. Sorry, 8 to 10 kilos for getting through that PET, for getting through in PET, physical test. So that you need to maintain a vegan diet, preferably, because it's not it'll be cheaper. So you need to maintain a vegan diet, and you need to at least start running. If you ask myself, I used to run for at least 7-8 kilometers a day, followed by a walk followed by a walk back home for at least it was at least for 4 kilometers. So it will be at least 11 to 12 hours, 11 to 10 kilometers a day. That is what I used to do. So I was able to shed at least 10 to 12 kilos, which I required to get from 95 kilos to 81.5 kilos to be for my height and weight, which I had to get myself qualified in the physical examination. So once you get through all these phases, paper 1, paper 2, and the physical examination, obviously the events that are there, 100 meters, 800 meters, the shot put, the long jump, you need practice. At least 1 month of practice for a person who doesn't have that bad of a stamina. I think it's sufficient. You should be able to do it. There's no problem at all. And the people who are there, the personnel, the officers, the staff of the CAPF, they are very cooperative, so they'll be motivating you all the time whenever these events are occurring at the time of your PET and your medical test. So there shouldn't be a problem for anyone who has at least prepared for a month for these things. The last thing, which is very important, the last phase of it, is the interview, because it carries 25% of weightage. For people, if I tell you, I'll tell you my example. The people who are not very confident, I was not very confident of my written marks, so I was hoping that okay, I should at least secure good marks in interview, so that I can get to the other part of the line. I should find my name in the merit list. So the interview carried 25% of the marks, and in interview you cannot do wonders. There's no shortcut to it. So whatever you can do is that you can project yourself 100% with honesty in front of those people who are at least have 25 to 30 years experience in various fields. So you just cannot bluff in front of them, and you don't need to do that. There's no problem in whatever language you prefer to speak in front of them. I'm talking about English और हिंदी. आप हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं, आप इंग्लिश में भी बात कर सकते हैं. कोई नंबर नहीं कटते हैं किसी भी चीज़ के लिए. You just need to be confident. You just need to express yourself. आपको अपने आप को सिर्फ उनके सामने clearly express करना है without any doubt. No questions, no numbers will be deducted, no marks will be deducted for saying no to any particular question. If I remember correctly, I was not able to answer at least 6 or 7 questions, and I was not able to answer the basic questions asked to me about the department which I'm working in. I was not able to answer the questions about central excise duty, or some questions regarding the projects I was working in when I was working back in the software industry. I was not able to answer them. But the thing is that they were asking me right from the very start. They started pressurizing me to a point that okay, I should give up and I should yield in front of them. I did not do that. They wanted to check whether I want to join the organization for the service of it, for the service of the nation, or I just want to change my job and because I'm frustrated in it. So that is the thing that the entire panel was trying to focus upon, and they, I think, hurled 3 or 4 questions in different way to just confirm this. And I was able, I think, to get through all of them, and somehow I was able to express all the things, and I cleared it. So let's hope. I think whatever little I had to offer here, I think I've done it. You can whatever question, if any questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer them. And I wish you all the best. And please stay safe and stay focused and keep preparing with all the firm and for all the determination and grit. And I hope you'll make it through. All the best. Thanks a lot. Thank you.